It's kind of a heavy topic, but I wanted to just bring it up real quick. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it, but it was,
Does it involve Uvalde?
yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. We're on the same page then.
So there was God, my hair is like fucking crazy.
Whatever you say,
Hey, you
Momoa.
relax, Jason Momoa.
Let's bring this up. So a couple days ago now, I believe the 20th, so 2 days ago, almost 3 days ago, multiple officers were inside Robb Elementary School with rifles, at least one ballistic shield at 11:52 a.m. the day of the shooting. New video and other surveillance shows they didn't enter the classroom for another 58 minutes more soon. So I didn't see any follow-up to this. I didn't check it, but I've been hearing about it elsewhere as well. And it just, and I did hear that now they're talking about demolishing the school. I heard there was a move to demolish the school in the wake of all of this stuff. And there's still a lot of details that seem really fuzzy. And like this in particular, like I know these people were at the school after the initial shooting, but I was told that there was other like shots fired and other people injured, and not to mention people were already injured from initial things that they just stood there, behind their riot shields, fully armed.
One of the things that pissed me off, and I was watching Louder with Crowder earlier today. What pissed me off after getting information about this, and he's got Steven's got some videos, he's got some clips in that same in today's episode as well. Is that there was actually a guy whose wife was a teacher there, and she had been been shot, and she was she was in her dying breath. The man he had a gun, like he was about to go in there and fight whoever this I guess violent offender guy or girl or whatever the fuck they are. I don't know who it is, but he was going to go in there and fight them. But the cops pretty much, and I think the guy was a cop in the first place, but what the cops did was they stopped the man and they took his gun. Yeah. And I'm sitting here like, I'm unfortunately going to have to, for a lot of people, going to have to agree with Steven on this one. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will agree as well. Like, I have little to no problem airing out anybody who gets in my way from saving my wife. You are out of your fucking mind. Even if she is on her dying breath, you are out of your fucking mind. If you think the last thing I want her to see is not her family.
Yeah.
You've lost your. I will put myself in prison for the rest of my fucking life if it means that I have the opportunity to save my wife. Fuck y'all.
And that's there's a teacher that was held back as well from going inside. I know multiple people were tased from going in to help. It's just but like, what's the motivation here to like? Is it a moment of panic that these officers held back? Obviously, there's a guy with a gun, an active shooter. These cops, they don't want to get themselves in harm's way, even though that's their job. Like, what would be the motivation for them covering this up or stopping people from going in there? Are they trying to save their lives? Like, isn't the children's lives more important? We should be protecting future generations.
Exactly. There was also another video clip that Steven had. I think it was the commissioner of the force who pretty much said, who was echoing the same thing. There is no reason why those cops should not have been in there, pretty much kicking in doors and stuff like that. Like, what held you up for 58 minutes? Like, you are trained to go in there and you can possibly lose your lives, but you are trained to protect the people, the most vulnerable people there, being the children and the unarmed adults. Like, you're not doing your fucking job. So here's a novel suggestion. Get the fuck out of the way and let people who actually have the gumption to go in there and save those people.
Yeah. That whole situation is sad. And like, a lot of the details seem like a lot of these shootings, like the details are not fuzzy, but they're weird. Like the arsenal that this kid had, the truck that he was driving, like way outside of like what he would be able to afford. Again, like I haven't heard anyone sort of refute this or trying to explain why he had it. Like, some kids have trust funds and they have a lot of money, but as far as I knew, wasn't he like an illegal that was living in the States, and he had killed his his grandmother, I believe, before, getting into a chase and then going into the school. Like, there's just a lot of weird details surrounding all this. Same thing with like the Las Vegas thing.
It's sketchy. Like there's a lot of information that we're not being told, and there's a lot of information out there that is being suppressed. So I can't exactly say 100% everything that's going down. All I can tell you is something smells fishy.
Yeah, and I don't like to be necessarily tinfoil hat man or anything, but like, again, like none of this makes sense. Like, why? Like, if you have multiple people trying to get into a place to like help the kids out or save people, why wouldn't you toss them aside and get in there, like knowing that's like something is going on? Like, there's kids, huddle in a room. They've likely been shot. Like, get in there and help them. What are we waiting on? And like, don't give me the whole like, well, they're not supposed to protect people. We're talking about kids here, man. We're not talking about like a group of adults. Like, we're talking about kids. What is the motivation for them not to go in there? It's right. It makes me mad.
But at the end of the day, they could have done something at some point instead of just standing there.
Right. If you're not going to do anything, like I said, just get out of the way.
Like a firefighter doesn't just stand there and let a building
let
burn.
The fire just burn. Yeah.
And that's something I think people get police officers confused with firemen. Firemen literally do train to run into danger. That is what they do. That is all they do. That is not what a cop is typically trained for. They are trained to pull you over at the red light, to try to de-escalate a situation before it happens, not to run into the gunfire.
Well, then why were the cops there? Send in the military instead.
Well, and then there's like the big discussion too, is like, what is needed in order to protect these schools? Like, we shouldn't need to protect schools like prisons, but what
each teacher gets a shotty.
Well, I mean,
I disagree with that just because of all the teachers I've seen on TikTok.
Fair. Each normal teacher gets a shotty.
The kids need the guns at this rate.
Absolutely. Get these kids pocket knives and lemon juice. Yeah, they get the job done. I've seen Rugrats.